we want to see. So, little fan of the neighborhood as I'm getting back. So, of course, the main thing I want to do is actually point out any potential problems with the property.
Okay.
So, first thing I look at when we come up to a house, of course, is the roof. So here in Illinois, our roofs are a little bit different than what you may be used to out in California. Mm-hmm. We use asphalt shingle material.
Okay.
And so there's a couple different types. There's the older 3-tab, and then I can't really zoom in. And then there's architectural dimensional shingles. This one has the better architectural dimensional shingles. And you'll see some darkening areas. I don't know if you can notice that in the
I can see it,
So the darkening areas generally indicate that the staples or the nails holding the roof on are rusting or decaying, and then that will not help your shingles adhere. They're a 25 to 30 year shingle. So
and the house was built in 94, so it might be.
It looked like they're in pretty good condition.
Okay.
So this would not be the original roof. This would have been replaced, I would have to assume.
Okay.
I see a little bit of curling on the garage. I don't know if you can notice that.
No.
See if I can get a little bit closer, but up toward. If I can maybe get up there. A couple of the shingles are just really starting to cup a little bit, but not really much. They're a heavy-duty shingle.
Okay.
So just a note on homeowners insurance in Illinois. We're in an area that has, very often high winds, tornadoes, and hail. So I wouldn't recommend it initially because we're trying to keep the cost down for your monthly net.
Yeah.
So I would get standard homeowners insurance policy originally. But after you close, I would recommend getting a couple of additions to your policy. One certainly is replacement cost coverage.
Okay.
Which adds a considerable cost to your coverage. But if you get a hailstorm and they have to replace the roof, and say it's a 25-year shingle and it's been up there for 20 years, they're going to depreciate it by by 75%.
Okay.
So they'll only pay for 25% of the replacement.
Oh.
If you have replacement cost, they'll pay for the whole thing.
Okay.
The other thing would be a sump pump rider, so that they have a sump pump policy. If your sump pump were to go out and flood the basement, you're covered there.
Oh, that's important. Yeah.
So, but those two binders would be one that I would highly recommend.
Oh, thank you, bud. Good advice.
This side looks pretty good. Of course, it's a lovely lot. Has the backup generator system. These used to be very popular in our area, and it's nice to have. Maybe less likely to need that sump pump policy if you've got backup electric, and a backup sump pump system may not be as important. The reason that these are not as popular or as necessary anymore, the electric used to go out quite a bit, but in our area, they've installed peaker power plants, meaning that if the power goes out, they've got little satellite power plants that kick in.
Okay.
So if the power goes out, it's out for a much shorter period of time. It's a big air conditioner. This particular corner of the home apparently doesn't see much sunlight. It's a little bit mossy in there. It could use a little bit of a pressure washing. Yeah. And the home being owned by Olivet, whoever was here was, obviously was a tenant of some sort.
Yeah.
And they probably took good care of it, but never take as good a care as you do
if it's an
your own property.
Yeah.
The flags that you're seeing here are indicating Commonwealth Edison. Did Julie come out and mark for some reason? Julie's a company that comes out and marks for power lines and whatnot. So that indicates to me that this area through here is an easement where they're coming through. So the power lines are coming up into the house through here, underground power lines, which is nice.
Okay.
These pipes that you see coming out here are the exhaust and intake for your furnace. That's okay. I'm Italian. If we're not around kids, I'm not comfortable. So right away it tells me it's a high-efficient furnace. And then the white pipes with something missing here is for the in-ground sprinkler system, so that unit's been taken out to be winterized.
Okay.
This hose is a discharge for the sump pump, which we do want to see it, running away from the property. You see the elevation, there's a nice pitch where everything is draining nicely away from the property, so it sits up nice. That's another thing that we do want to see. It's a good sized deck. It's treated lumber. Oh no, I'm sorry. As I get up close here, I can see the rails are treated, but the decking itself is composite material. I'll get up there and get a better view
Oh,
of that.
good. That lasts longer, right?
Yep, and this here is the lattice work is PVC.
Okay.
So that's all maintenance free.
Oh, good.
The post, I want to point out, it does appear that the posts go right into the ground. So that's earth to wood contact.
Okay.
We would prefer to see those posts sitting on a concrete pad, and then rather than going into the ground, they'll last longer. But it's not unusual, and those are big beefy 6x6 posts.
Okay.
So they should last nicely. Great view of the yard. A couple of guys kayaking in the pond this morning.
Oh, how fun! I was wondering what use the pond was, if it was just a visual, or if you can
Socially
kayak in there.
distant there.
Yeah.
So the lot line's going to run where these utility boxes are. They'll generally indicate the back of the lot.
Okay.
So even though there's property beyond it here, that'll be common areas.
Okay.
So the lot will run right about where these utility boxes go. And this will be the back of the yard here.
Okay.
And it's all on a pretty good hill.
Okay.
So if you had plans for an in-ground pool, it'd be tough here.
No, we don't want a pool. The pond is plenty to worry about with the kiddos.
Yeah.
So with mowing the lawn, is that part of the HOA, or we need to get a lawnmower?
No, you'd be responsible for maintaining your own lawn.
Okay, got it.
And there's great services here that are very affordable.
Okay.
I pay $30 a shot, and they do all the weed whacking, edging, mowing, bag it, haul it away, blow off everything.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's almost not worth owning the equipment
No.
for that price. Beautiful out here. Screen porches on both sides.
Yes, I love it.
The roof looks actually in better condition on the back than the front. Generally, you're going to find that one portion of the roof will not last as long as the others because of the sun eats it up.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So you look down the deck here, you see it's a little bit curved where the composite wood is perhaps not being supported as good as the rest. You see where I'm talking about? It's sort of weak down there.
Okay.
And that sometimes happens with composite because it doesn't have, if they replace the top boards with composite, it doesn't have quite the structure that the original wood does. So if it wasn't framed properly for composite when it was built, and they didn't add any structure for it, that can occur.
Uh-oh, is it going to need to be replaced soon, or?
No, it looks like
stable?
just the edge board, really.
Okay.
Just along the edge, the actual deck itself. I'll take a walk up there as we go around, but the actual deck itself looks nice and flat.
Okay.
And so to have the wraparound porch all the way around the house is great.
Yeah.
And it's nice that they have the gutters running well away from the home, keeping that watershed. And again, the lot pitched nicely away from the home. I'm always concerned about water.
Especially with the basement. That's all new to us.
All looks nice and clean.
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, I love their little swing there. Better if it didn't have my big finger in the way.
Little swing.
How cute.
That's cool.
I didn't notice that in the picture. I saw the stars that we had lived in San Antonio, Texas for a few years, so I was like, it's a sign, the Texas stars.
This downspout could use an extension, get the water a little more away from the home.
Oh, yeah.
There's lighting in the eaves. If you see, catch that, they've got some lights throughout the eaves. The other thing is that it seems well ventilated in the eaves.
Oh, that's nice. That's a cool feature.
So nice composite material. All along the deck to the little swing there.
I love that swing. That's cute.
And of course, no plants or much in the way of flowers or anything. That is probably a blue ribbon winning dandelion there.
Aw.
Oh, this is locked from this side. Nice big casement windows. You get a great breeze with this kind of window. I'm not a big air conditioning person if I can avoid it.
Yeah,
There's
same.
plenty of exterior outlets, 2 on the front porch here for
Oh, perfect.
decorating if you got your
Yeah, Christmas lights and all that.